Most men over 50 make one silent mistake, and it costs them opportunities they don't even realize they had. They assume that if a woman is interested, she'll make it obvious. She won't. Not at this stage of life. Because here's the reality. When a woman is drawn to a mature man, she doesn't flirt the way you expect. She doesn't chase. She doesn't make bold moves. In fact, she often does the opposite. She becomes subtle, careful, observant, and instead of showing interest directly, she hides it inside something that looks completely normal. Questions, simple, everyday questions that seem harmless on the surface, but carry meaning underneath. And if you don't recognize them in the moment, you'll walk away thinking nothing happened, while she walks away thinking you didn't notice. I've seen this play out countless times. A man sits across from a woman, convinced the conversation was just friendly. Meanwhile, she had already opened the door quietly, waiting to see if he would step through it. He didn't. Not because he wasn't interesting, not because she wasn't attracted, but because he answered her words instead of understanding her intention. And once that moment passes, it rarely comes back. Here's what most men don't understand about women at this stage. They are not trying to impress you. They are trying to read you. They're not asking, do I like him? They're asking, is he stable? Is he aware? Is he someone I can step toward without feeling exposed? And they don't ask that directly. They test it. Through tone, through timing, through carefully chosen questions that reveal far more than they seem. Now, before we get into those questions, understand this shift. When you're younger, attraction is often loud, more direct, more obvious. But as people grow older, attraction becomes quieter and more intentional. A woman isn't going to risk looking needy. She isn't going to put herself in a position where she feels emotionally unprotected. So instead of saying, I'm interested in you, she creates a moment where you have the chance to show her who you are. And that moment usually comes in the form of two specific questions. Not random questions, not small talk, but emotional checkpoints. The first one seems innocent, almost forgettable. She might ask it casually while you're talking about your daily life. Do you usually spend a lot of time by yourself? Or something close to it? Are you more of a solitary person? Do you like being on your own? Do you keep a pretty quiet routine? On the surface, it sounds like she's just making conversation. She's not. She's measuring something very specific, not your schedule, not your habits, your availability. She's trying to understand if there's space in your life and, more importantly, space in your energy. Because here's what she's really asking. If I step closer, will I be welcomed or will I feel like I'm interrupting something closed off? A lot of men answer this in a very literal way. Yeah, I'm alone most of the time. I just do my own thing. I like being by myself. And without realizing it, they send the wrong signal. Not because those answers are bad, but because they sound final. Closed, like there's no room for anyone else. A grounded man answers differently. He doesn't just respond, he communicates openness. Something like, I enjoy my own space, but I appreciate the right company. Simple. Balanced, it tells her you're independent, but not unavailable. And that's exactly what she's trying to feel. Now, if she senses the right energy from you, she doesn't stop there. She moves to the second question. This one goes deeper. It might sound like, what are you focused on these days? Where are you heading right now in life? What are you looking for at this point? Again, sounds casual, but this is where she's really paying attention because this question has nothing to do with details. It's about direction. She's trying to feel your center, your stability, your sense of purpose, not your job title, not your achievements, but your movement. Are you drifting or are you grounded? Do you speak with clarity or hesitation? Do you sound like a man who knows himself or someone still figuring things out? Because here's the truth, most men never hear. Women don't move toward perfection. They move toward certainty. Not arrogance, not ego, but a quiet sense of direction. A man who knows where he stands, even if his life isn't perfect. And when you answer this question with clarity, even in a simple way, it changes how she sees you instantly. You don't need a long explanation. You don't need impressive words. Just something real, something steady, something that shows you're present in your own life. Because in that moment, she's not just listening to your answer, she's imagining what it would feel like to be part of your world. And if that feeling is unclear, she pulls back. Not dramatically, silently. This is why so many men think nothing happened. Something did happen, they just didn't see it. These two questions are not random. They appear again and again because they come from the same place, emotional safety. Before a woman allows herself to feel anything deeper, she needs to know two things. Is there space for me? And is this man grounded enough for me to step closer? That's it. If you understand that, you stop missing signals. You stop overthinking. You stop guessing. Because now you're not just hearing words, you're reading intention. And that changes everything. So the next time a woman asks you something that seems simple, pause for a second, listen differently. Because sometimes the most important things are said in the quietest way. If this opened your eyes, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because the next video will show you even deeper signals most men completely overlook. Drop a comment below and write, I see the signs. And if you know someone who keeps missing these moments, share this with them. Because once you understand this, you don't miss opportunities anymore.